Hello everyone, this is going to be your psychic or intuitive astrology chart read for the full moon, which is happening on November 15th in the US at 4:28 p.m. Eastern Time, but times will vary depending on your location. This is going to be the full moon in Taurus, and it's conjunct Uranus, so there's lots of things to look into and talk about. Before we get started, my name is Vickieverlie, and you're watching the Rock and Roll Prophetess on YouTube. Do not be fooled by imposters. This is going to be a psychic or intuitive astrology reading. So while I do base it in astrology, I definitely get messages, downloads, and even some songs sometimes from my guides as the reading progresses. You could always reach me at vickieverlie.com for any information about sessions, or I have the year ahead reading coming up and various things. I will never be messaging you through any social media accounts as far as readings go. Those are imposters and liars, and you should just block them, okay? All right, let's dive into this reading. So this is so interesting because it is conjunct Uranus. So that it does bring this element of surprise. It brings this element of seeking freedom from bondage. I feel like it could really shine a light on or show many of us where we have been, because I love my Taurus, as you've heard me if you ever watch my videos. Many of my best friends are Taurus. I know so many Tauruses through music endeavors, so I'm not anti-Taurus, but you know, Taurus energy it's fixed, and fixed energy doesn't like change, and it can be really stubborn, and it can really stick its heels in and not want to change. So we can apply, all of us can apply this to our own lives. Where have we felt stuck? Where have we, my guides are saying, where have we felt imprisoned? Wow, that's pretty intense. Well, maybe for some that might be the case. We're imprisoned of our own thoughts and ideas. Because after all, Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. Mercury, the planet of communication. Now, Mercury's going retrograde, not yet. Okay, it's still direct at the time of this full moon. A few days later, I think it goes retrograde. But Uranus is the ruling, the higher octave of Mercury. So it is communication, but on a much higher level. You know, Uranus wants to take us. It's the ruler of Aquarius. We're going to have, many of you have been hearing about Pluto going into Aquarius, so we know a lot about the Aquarius energy, which is akin to the Uranian energy. It's pretty much the same thing here, right? So this Aquarius Uranian energy is very much prevalent and present, and in the news, so to speak, in the astrology news anyway, right? Because we do have this Pluto. At the moment, Pluto is at 29 of 56, so it only goes up to 29:59, and then it changes. I know that that's going to be on the 19th, so 4 days later. It's 4 days till the big shift. So this is even a little bit of a precursor of this Aquarius. I mean, we've been having a lot of precursors. Pluto moved in and out of Aquarius last year. I could even actually have my little note cards that I've got together here for the year ahead reading, so I've got all the info right at my fingertips, and I know it's all computerized and everything, and I do use computers to run a chart on this, use this to run a chart computerized, but I just, these work better for me. I'm a little old school that way. Okay, so last year, Pluto was into Aquarius on January 20th. I'm talking 2024, okay? Not last year, but this past January. So it was in Aquarius all the way through from January 20th until it went back into Capricorn on September 1st of 2024. So there was a big precursor there. This, the first 8 months, you might as well say, because September 1st it changed, and it was the end of January. So the 8 months of the 12 months of 2024, we did have Pluto in Aquarius. We did have a little taste of what it, what it was going to all be about, or what we can expect perhaps for the next 20-some years here. Uranus paired, though, with the full moon, because the full moon brings enlightenment. It brings enlightenment. It shines out an idea, or gives you an awareness, or it brings things to culmination. This could also be talking about the culmination of the Uranus traveling through the sign of Taurus, over these past, 5 or 6 years or so. And, it could just be like, especially if, I know many people had a hard time in 24. I've had some things go down too, So maybe this could be this enlightenment, this big aha. Oh, I see. I see what it's all about. Or maybe it was hard because we were, pounding our head against the wall with the bull, like they're showing me the bull like ramming a brick wall. Well, that's not going to get you anywhere. You have to step back from the brick wall. What's the brick wall that's been holding you back? Where have you been fixed? And for many of us, it's our own stuff. It's our own behaviors, beliefs, whatever the case may be. Trying to pound that square peg in the round hole. It's never going to work, right? So this is a chance to step back and say, no, okay. It's kind of last chance because, where have I been doing this? And when you catch yourself doing whatever, different things, it's always, in my case, it's always just like, oh, how silly. It's always it can be instantaneous because people say, oh, you can't change, it takes forever. It's years, it takes years to get here, it's going to take years to get you out of it. No, I've had many moments of enlightenment where my whole perspective and my whole energy just shifts in an instant. I think the trick is to grab, not let go of that. Because then you get thrown back into your normal environment and all the usual agitations and whatever start coming at you. But see, these are culminations. Full moon is culmination. Uranus at 25. Everything only goes to 29. And then it goes to 0 again. That's the whole cycle of the astrology, through the degrees here. Okay? So we've got Uranus at 25. We've got Neptune at 27. We've got Pluto at 29. The Sun is at 24, of course, opposing the moon. So there's this culmination, this the critical degrees they call them, because it's like it's showtime. If you don't get it now, you're never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Never gonna get it. Get it. First song of the reading, the guides came through. Yes, maybe there's things that you're gonna have to realize that you're never gonna get. And why keep throwing energy towards something that's not for you? This whole Uranus thing, this Pluto in Aquarius, this is bringing about major enlightenment. This is bringing about, oh, I see things clearly. I see how I've been in frustration, or I've seen how I've caused myself frustration, or I've seen how I've been trying to beat a dead horse or fit a square peg in a round hole, It's time to let go of all that. And it's this attitude of it, well, it's better the hell I know than the hell I don't know. The fear often holds us back, the fear of the unknown. But you can turn that fear into excitement, because certainly Uranus is a planet of excitement, for sure. So there's this excitement, there's this anticipation of, what does the universe have in store for me? Of becoming unencumbered, my guides just came through with. So it's a time to become unencumbered from the heavy things that you've been carrying around. It reminds me of, they're showing me that vision of that Lynn Andrews, one of my awesome big favorite teachers, that I learned through books, but I actually did get a chance a few years back to interview her when I was doing that Creative Spirit series. If you haven't checked that out, you can check it out. So that was really cool, to meet her and talk to her. But one of her books, she has many books, and the first one that came to my mind anyway was Medicine Woman, where she travels with these women, shaman groups throughout these different indigenous tribal women groups throughout the world. It's really cool stuff, definitely opened my eyes. It's on the line of the Don Juan books, Carlos Castaneda, if you've ever read those. But it's really working with the feminine, the divine feminine tribal stuff and all that kind of stuff. Anyways, there's one story that she tells in one of these books about one of her teachers, and she's walking along and she's got her bag, and she keeps telling her, pick up these rocks, and then she's carrying all these rocks. Well, every time she was bitching or saying a problem, she goes, pick up a rock. And I think she didn't know what it was. I haven't read the book in a long time. I have to go back and reread it. But why she's just like, why am I picking up rocks? I don't think she really knew. But so she's got this bag and she's picking up all these rocks, excuses, and why I'm, the aggravation and bitchiness. Pick up a rock, pick up that rock, pick up that rock. And then, she gets to a point, she's like, what's with the rocks? And she goes, well, do you really want to carry around all these rocks with you? And then it's just like, that's the kind of energy this is, especially with Taurus because it's so heavy. And Capricorn, this earth energy can be very heavy. And Taurus rules the earth and the rocks. I think it would rule rocks. In this reading, it does. This is where we're getting into coloring outside the lines. In my world right now, the Taurus energy rules these rocks, okay? So yeah, what are these rocks that we've been carrying around? What are these boulders that we've picked up along the way, and that we've been carrying, and that is making our journey hard on us and making it difficult for us to carry on, to reach our true goals, making our path just more arduous, treacherous. These are the words that want to come forward. Neptune is here too, so we're dreaming this bigger dream. Uranus and Neptune together, although very different, could really work together well to just create all kinds of great magic, great magical, humongous shifts, dramatic shifts, because they're both kind of outside of reality. Neptune is like in the subconscious mind, it's kind of in the subconscious mind leading up to the spirit, if that makes sense. This is supposed to be a person's head. Their subconscious mind, woo, and your connection to spirit, but it's like a within thing, and you might even want to take it from the heart. It's kind of a heart connection. And then Uranus, is like, here we're blasting off into outer space. We're out of this dimension, we're out of this world, we're on a rocket ship ride out of this space. It's computerized, it's next level technology and advancements of society and all these kinds of things. But neither is really here in Mother Earth. It can affect an influence on us on Earth as in the physical. Its vibrations can be felt, its energetic influence can be felt, but it's just not really right there. It's just not really right there. It's outer world, outer limits. Woo! So we're dealing with some outer limit stuff here, man. But and Uranus is altruistic. Uranus is like all for one, and the brotherhood of man, and next level. Like this, they keep showing me flashes of Star Trek, the original Star Trek series. So like the whole thing of that, I can't even remember any of it. What is it? To seek out brave new worlds, to boldly go where no man has gone before. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, so we got an opportunity here to board the Starship Enterprise or whatever starship you want to get on it these days. But we're already. I'm working on this book and I'm doing a lot of illustrations for. But this whole thing, I was just drawing out a little bit with the person, and then there's the mind and the subconscious mind, and then the heart energy. It reminded me of, I'm doing a page right now where I have this scuba diver, and the scuba diver has these, the old-fashioned with the big helmet and everything, but he has there's these two lines that come out of the scuba diver, and it's almost like, but they're with those two, connected to those two lines that he has, is for breath, obviously, I would assume. I don't know what the other one is, maybe probably both breath, inhale, exhale, I don't know. I'm not an expert on scuba gear, especially the old school kind, But, this whole thing here, with that connection, with that dual connection, because this Uranus could also be the higher mind, So with that dual connection, you can, even though you're in a heavy suit, you're in this heavy meat suit of a body in the 3D reality here, you can really go into these deep waters. You can go deeper, deeper, deeper into exploring new worlds. It's so cool. If you've ever seen those Jacques Cousteau or these, they come across these creatures that they look like freaking aliens, because we've just never been in contact with them. There's a whole other worlds beneath the sea that we know nothing about, that we've yet to explore, And so this is it. We've got these two lifelines. We've got the one from Uranus connecting us to the higher mind up here, and then we've got the one from Neptune from our heart chakra and our subconscious mind over here. And there's an opening, there's a connection, there's a line of communication, okay? There's a line of communication coming through from higher realms and deeper realms. And it's coming through Neptunian, through our heart and through our subconscious mind, and maybe through, that would be like maybe through deep meditation, or connecting with guides, channeling, these types of things. And then Uranus is lifting that vibration. Because when I'm channeling, my guides have told me, I'm like, we're here, we're down here on the earth, and they're probably way up here, let's say. But if you can get to this plane, and they can lower enough, there is this place where you can meet. But it's not just right here on the 3D. At least not yet, they can't really lower themselves as much as we are at, the level that we are at. And this is also a good analogy or a good metaphor for how it is in the dream state and astral travel, I've found. My guides have backed me up on that one too. Because I always go to this place. Well, there's a few different places, but I have these I call them the meeting places. But it's really the astral plane, because once they cross the veil of death even, of people that have passed on, and this, by the way, we are in Scorpio season. You may have a lot of that going on. They can't fully come back to Earth here. There's this line, but they can come here. And in dream state and astral travel, we can come here too. So there's this meeting place of community. Uranus is very much about, I keep bringing up Uranus because it's, the Uranus is so heavily involved, and we're about to move it with the Pluto into Aquarius, which is Uranus. That's why, if you're not following why I keep talking about Uranus. This is very much a Uranian footprint of this chart, So, the Uranian energy is all about that, the community, having that communal experience, everything like that. Yeah, so that's interesting. I'm looking here, we've got Jupiter at 19 degrees, we've got Chiron at 19 degrees, we've got Mercury at 16 degrees here, and then even the Pluto at 12. The thing that, when I open the chart, I'm just now noticing these other 19 degrees. Okay, let's not back up too far. But really, when I open the chart, this is what grabbed me. Even though it's closer to the Chiron, but this grabbed me. The Jupiter square the Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn can really work well together. People always say when you get a Jupiter-Saturn, oh no, Saturn's on my Jupiter. Oh, my life is it's all shit. My life is ruined. Everything's bad. But it's not. It doesn't have to be. Jupiter and Saturn are very different energy. But Saturn and Jupiter in chart, I've seen it work, in charts. I've seen it work in my chart, and I've seen it work in other people's charts. These long-term goals and things can become a solid foundation. Saturn rules the bones in our bodies. If without our bones in our bodies, we would just be a lump of flesh and organs laying on the ground. We need structure. We need Saturn energy. Saturn, I think I might have been, I'm not sure. This came up in a reading recently. I'm not sure if it was a personal or whatever, but Saturn's like the parent, okay? There's this parent, and this is this kid. And this kid wants to run. He's bound and determined he's going to run out in the street, right? And he's all gung-ho, I'm going to run out in the street. This looks like fun. Let's go here. Because that Gemini can be like, let's go here, let's go there. Every minute it's a different thing. Click, click, click. And, the street is like, that's Mercury, Gemini, And the kid's like, oh, I want to run in the street, I want to run in the street. Here comes Saturn is, no, you're not going to run. It's not okay to run in the street. The kid doesn't get that. The kid just says, oh, look, it's so fun out there. Look at the cars going by. I want to go out in the street. But Saturn, in all its wisdom, as the wise elder, Saturn is the wise elder, okay? Saturn says, hey, no, you're not going in the street. It's not fun. It's dangerous. You could get hit by a car. And then Saturn's trying to redirect. That's all Saturn's really trying to do. Saturn always has our best interest in mind. And Saturn doesn't want to get behind something that's going to be, misery. You don't want to go against Saturn because you could be in years of misery with something. Because you just feel like, this heavy, burdenous energy again. So you don't really want to do that if you can avoid it. You want to listen to Saturn. You want to heed their advice. They are offering you wise counsel, especially in the sign of Pisces, which is Neptune ruled, which is everything I was just talking about this. Those lifelines to the other dimensions and, whatever, our soul's purpose and everything. So Saturn's standing there and saying, no, Jupiter, come on, let's rein it in. But Saturn's not just going to leave you. Saturn's not all about just saying no. Like this parent might say, hey, why don't we go in the backyard and we'll play on your cars in the backyard, or we'll play on the swing set, or we'll go ride bikes, or on the bike path. Saturn wants to offer other solutions. It's not always saving you from harm, but Saturn's not standing in your way just to be a dick, okay? That's what I'm getting at. They're not just trying to be an a-hole. They're standing in your way because you're heading in a direction that you can't see from this vantage point. We can't see it, but Saturn can see it. Saturn is that wise elder, and it can see, like, come on, it's trying to push you. Saturn goes by pushing against, and then till it gets you to lock in. Jupiter goes by attraction. It's very much an attraction. With the full moon in Uranus and Jupiter there, your mind could be going a little bit haywire. You want to calm that mind, go into that Neptunian centering, calming energy, right? All right, but now let's dive into this. It is opposed Mercury, so there it is again with that mind, that mind being so active. But also, I'm feeling like you could get that, oh, this would be the perfect thing. Oh, I get it. Something that you have been, because Mercury is the ruler of Gemini. So it's its natural rulership thing here. Actually, that's a mutual reception now that I see it. And Jupiter, the ruler, is Sagittarius. So there's this mutual reception between, and Mercury's in Sag, if you're not following. I know it's sometimes too much astrology, but it's a mutual reception. Jupiter's ruler is Sag, and Mercury's ruler is Gemini. And then, but it's still in opposition, and Jupiter's retrograde. So there's still a little bit of some friction. But what I'm picking up is, it feels like there could be this something that you're turning your wheels on here, spinning your wheels on. And it's like, oh, I've been really pounding on this book. I'm not going to get it done. If anybody's following the saga of getting this book done, I was trying to get it done by Halloween, and then I'm like, well, maybe I can get it out for the Christmas season, but it's really more of a Halloween book, so it's just like, but I'm still working on it. I want to get it done while my head's in this space of I don't want to put it down and then come back to it like, oh, what was I doing with this thing again? Where was I going? I want to finish it, and probably it'll come out next Halloween. We'll see. But anyways, back to this. There's been things that I've been spinning my wheels about too, and then I've been getting these. It's just like, oh, like breakthroughs or aha moments. Oh, because there's a lot of illustration. It's a book, but there's a lot of visual to it. There's a lot of illustration. So it's just like, oh, that's how I could illustrate that. Oh, yeah, that would be cool. And I'm getting these things where I've been stuck. Like there's certain things. It's like, I don't know how I'm going to illustrate that. I have no idea how. Nothing's coming to me. Mind. And then it's just like, oh yeah, I could do that. I can do that. So, but the way I'm approaching it, and maybe that's the way you could approach a lot of things, anything that you're fighting with mentally or mulling around with mentally, is I do it when I'm going to sleep. I'm just kind of like, okay, show me what it's going to look like. I did that with that deck that actually I've completed also. I've got that in the can, ready to go. Show me what it's going to look like. And I'm getting downloads. I'm just getting flashes of images and stuff. So the universe is present. The higher consciousness is present. Our guides, our angels, our loved ones who are on the other side, they're present. Okay, they are present, especially during Scorpio season. And also, yeah, Pluto's in Capricorn, but Pluto is the ruler of Scorpio. So there's a Plutonian, Pluto at 29, there's this Plutonian Scorpionic vibe very much, intense in that matter too. So they're present. The veil is thin at this time frame. The veil is very thin. And leading all the way through, I mean, people say, yeah, the veil is thin for All Hallows Eve, Samhain, All Saints Day, all that good stuff. Sure. But I mean, I think Christmas Eve, Christmas night, woo! Talk about to me, the veil being thin. I mean, I'm December 26th, so maybe it's just because it's my solar return or something like that. But no, I feel like it's very thin then. This whole season, this whole last quarter after the Libra Ingress, and then into the solstice, the winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere. There is this energy. There is the veil is thin. And if you're in the northern hemisphere also, you know, the leaves are falling. I did the whole thing about the leaves the last time. One of these readings, you can go back and listen if you forgot. I already forgot exactly what I said, but, you know, there is the dying of the old. And in the spring, the birthing of the new. This is the dying of the old. 25 degrees, 29 degrees, 27 degrees. This is the dying of the old. Pluto, ruler of Scorpio, rules over death. It is the dying of the old. But it's natural, and it's good, and it's right. So what do we're going to have these awarenesses of what do we want to heal, what do we want to, in our life and our existence is the dying of the old. What do we need to let go of? You know, Jupiter with Chiron here too. So we could have major insights into healing. Both Aries and Gemini are very fast moving, you know, Mars and Mercury, and fast moving. On the go. Yeah, let's snap, hop to it. Work, go, do. And sometimes not, you know, to our detriment, where we're not putting enough thought into it, or we're not fleshing it out. You know, we just get an impulse and act on it, where we need to flesh it out. We need to bring it into the flesh and ruminate with it, and congeal with it, and commune with it, so that we can, you know, it'll be a better expression in the long run. Like this thing I was just talking about, the illustration I'm working on right now. I could have slapped some crap together. You know, every freaking thing doesn't have to be a masterpiece, you know. That was my mental thing. I was even actually at one point thinking about using like clip art or AI, but it was just so freaking bad. I couldn't believe how bad it is. I'm going to do a whole video on when I'm done with this book, but I mean, I just couldn't in good consciousness. Not only because it's AI and clip art or whatever, but just because it looked like complete crap. I mean, compared to what I've come up with, when I slowed down and said, okay, I can do better than this, and the final product with my own drawings and my own art in it, I mean, it's you can't even, it's so much better. I can't wait to show you guys. I'm gonna make some videos when I do bring this out, and just show you what the AI thing was, and then what I came up with. So, I forgot where I was going with this. I'm kind of all consumed with this book right now. Sorry if I keep referring back to it, but it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor of what's happening in the world, and the energy, working with the energy. So when we slow down, we can see where we need this healing. Jupiter can bring it to light. I mean, Jupiter expands. You know, it could have, oh man, my back's really acting up now. I got to go to a doctor. It could be like that. And of course, if there is a medical thing, go to the doctor. Don't listen to me. You know, there could be this awareness of it, or being able to really heal it, and really, you know, put it to bed once and for all. You know, or, you know, even if some of you have been going to doctors and not being able to figure it out, you know, maybe you could have, they'll figure it out, the brain, or maybe you'll figure it out on your own. I've had that happen so many times. I've just by, you know, looking things up, it's like, oh, it's this, okay. One last thing we're going to take a look at is we do have this big grand cross in the cardinal signs here. We've got the north and south node at 5 degrees. And then we've got Venus up here at 4 degrees of Capricorn. And we've got, this is 5 degrees of Libra and 5 degrees of Aries. And then we've got, it's not a grand cross. It's a T-square. But then the Mars is mixed in with it too. In those conjunct semi-sextile ways. But initially, honestly, this is what I caught here. Everything I was talking about Saturn, how Saturn likes to push and all that good stuff, you know, that's true. But Venus doesn't push. Venus attracts too, like Jupiter. Venus is like trying to, because the nodes is always about aligning with our own fate and destiny. You know, we're always trying to align with our soul's purpose. We get distracted along the way. Everybody does. Nobody is a living saint and is living up to their thing 100%. Nobody is. Okay, their life path. So we all get distracted. Don't beat yourself up over that. The point is, again, getting it back online, pulling it back in here. But the Venus and the square, it's like, oh, maybe there is an alternative. Maybe we have a problem with authority, and we don't like Saturn, and we're gonna just be, that could be an Aries thing. It's like, screw you, Saturn. You're not gonna tell me what to do. I'm gonna do what the frick I want, right? But Venus has a different approach. Venus is love, kindness, but beauty, reward. It's abundance. It's that thing that it makes you. You're plodding along, you're walking down your path, you're walking, and you're angry, you're this angry face, you got a giant head and you're angry, and you're walking, and then you're angry, and it's just, nothing's clicking. But then Venus says, hello, it's Venus, I'm over here, hello there. And it pulls at your heartstrings, it pulls at your, ooh, and it makes you turn your head and say, ooh. Or I'm getting like a smell, like, where is that smell coming from? And like the cartoons, like they smell the smell and they're floating through the air. Towards, oh, what is that? Maybe it's your pheromones, maybe it's it could be just love. That's actually right, exactly on my sun. I didn't even catch that. 4 degrees of Capricorn. That's exactly my sun sign degree. But anyways, yeah, so it could be this thing that's not trying to tell you what to do, not trying to be an authority over you, but saying, ooh, hello. Do you see, sending out those aromas in the wavelengths of the air? Those sweet aromas. But it's calling to you. It's calling to you in a way that makes you want to find out more, pursue it. It attracts, So there could be that. You could change your course. If you haven't been able to change your course and you've been wanting to, you could change your course through an attraction thing rather than a, being forced. There's that spider. He was here before. I'm not afraid of him, but I don't want him crawling on me while I'm doing the reading. Okay, Spidey, get in the cup. There you go, in the cup. I didn't knock him in the cup, I knocked him. Oh, dang it. I had this cup out, I was ready to catch him before and take him outside. Now I don't know if I knocked him off the table or is he crawling under it. Well, we're going to have to wrap this one up, because I like spiders, but I don't want it crawling. I'm not going to keep my legs under this table and have him crawling on my leg. So, spider, fate, destiny, language, the original giving the gift of language through Odin and the Tree of Life, through the spider web, or Charlotte's Web, whatever you prefer. Yeah, but the Mars is in conjunct, so frustration could set in. Let's just throw that in there, or the in conjunct or the semisextile. So yeah, this is a very powerful time. Freedom from heaviness. Scorpio, Pluto, death to anything that's been heavy, that's been holding you down, that's been dragging on you. The bag of rocks. It's time to put the bag of rocks down and rock out, okay? All right, everybody. Hey, if you want to get a reading from me, I am available at my website. I do have the year ahead readings, the most positive, maybe not most positive, most popular though, for sure, of the readings. We'll dive into the eclipses. We'll look at all the transits, many planetary transits next year changing. Last year I showed you it was just Pluto. This year we've got the nodes change sign, the Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, they all changed in signs this year. So we'll look at all that in your chart and any other big transits, and then we'll do a big tarot spread. I mean, it's a pretty big, thorough reading, and you get an animal totem too, so that's available. If you really like more, and I don't run your chart for that though, this is just looking at it briefly through the ephemeris. About half the reading is a quick overview of some of the transits to your planets, and then we dive into the tarot. I'm not running charts for that amount. It's kind of a lot of work to run these charts all the time. So, but I do, if you prefer just this kind of chart. I don't have any predictive astrology readings right now, but I do have the soul reading and the soulmate reading. If you like the deeper, looking at your soul's purpose, it goes into past lives big time. That's really what it's all about. It's a past life reading, but done through, like I do here, as astrology for the basis of it, and then I go off and get my visions and things like that from it, way more than I do here. Way less talking astrology and way more psychic reading, but I just use the chart as my because that, after all, is the imprint of your soul's journey here. So it does show me, you know, it's where everything was. It's a snapshot of the energetic imprint of your entry into the earth plane. So if you're into that really deep stuff, I have that too. Or I just have the 1 and 2 question readings where I do like a little bit of astrology for timing, and then we do some tarot, psychic tarot. So check it all out. It's on my vickieverlie.com. Do not be fooled by imposters. I'm not messaging you through any social media accounts. Promise, that's not me. Those are liars and cheats. You have to go to my website. Oh, there he is. He's come back. Well, at least he came up from under the table. In you go, Spidey. Come on. You cannot hang out here. In you go. Come on. Get in there. Ah, he's in there. See him? I'm just going to put him over to the side right now. We'll take you outside later. Alright, well, I caught the spider. There. And he was running along under the table. He emerged right here. I was like, if I would have had my legs there, he would have came out. Alright, so I caught the spider. You can chill out over that. But what was he talking about? Yeah, ordering the readings. And if you enjoy this content, please do hit that like and subscribe. You know, the whole algorithm thing. What did somebody else, I saw a video and they called it, and I've definitely experienced it. Oh, shadow banning. Yeah, I think I've been having some shadow banning for several years here. And so let's put a stop to that. Or at least try to counteract it. You know, it costs nothing to hit the subscribe, hit the like button, all that good stuff. And let me hear your comments below. I mean, what is the heavy rocks of burden that you're wanting to release at this time? What are you ready to let go of? What are you ready to finally listen to Saturn and not be, I don't care, you know, not be a rebel without a cause? Because that's a lot of what this Aries energy can be. You know, it's just like, I'm impetuous, I know everything, I mean, Aries, again, you're great, you have many good qualities, but impulsiveness is a big thing with Aries. So where are you going to be ready to slow down, listen, ready to walk into this next paradigm, this next shift of energy, this next procession of mankind? That's what the guide said. Wow. I mean, no pressure or anything. No big deal. It's just the procession of mankind, you know, no biggie. Alright, everybody. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in, and have a great full moon in Taurus. And I'll be back again with another reading. Usually I post a reading every week of some sort. You know, I do a couple. I'd always do the new and full moon from an astrology perspective, and then I do the tarot, the big tarot reading at the beginning of the month. If you like more tarot, honestly, I do have a weekly Patreon readings too. I do post where I do overview of the tarot, overview of the astrology for the week, and then we go sign by sign and just do 2 cards, little mini reading for each sign. So if you want to get in on that, and it also helps support me and the channel and different things that I'm doing, you know, check it out. All below in the description or in the show notes, or go to my website. It's all there too, okay? All right, everybody, we'll have a great full moon in Taurus, and I'll talk to you soon.